All right, so coming back to the book, so this is the section that we left off. Now, in this case, we're going to be taking a look at how we can build our lists. Now, in this case, for this one, we were supposed to actually build our items list, but that's not until chapter 8. So they combined it with chapter 8 because it makes sense to build your items list because it does involve with inventory. So in this case, this chapter wants to view every other list that are on QuickBooks that you can either customize or create. And the biggest, I guess not the biggest one, but a common one that you would see is going to be a terms list, okay? Now, what are terms? Terms is a special way to give an incentive to someone, especially when they owe you money either on an account or whether they owe you, they just owe you in general, okay? So oftentimes the idea here is that with these incentives, it allows people to either pay up or allows people who want to take advantage of a discount. They can do that, and that's the incentive here is that they offer a discount percentage off of whatever that they purchase, and by doing so, it's a two-way street, right? Not only do you get a discount, but you get paid or whatever the circumstances is if you are the vendor or the customer. So a terms list can apply to both a vendor and a customer. So for example, if I purchase something, a vendor's going to offer me terms, which is a incentive for me to pay them as soon as possible. And by doing so, they will give me a discount. All right? Same thing that works for customers as well. If I have somebody owe me money and I tell them, well, hey, I will give you a special discount if you pay me back within X amount of days. And if you do, then you apply the discount on it afterwards. So that's what terms is, right? It's a built-in way to basically give incentives out to either a customer or a vendor gives it to you, to kind of have them get the money as soon as possible and grant them their discount. So with that being said, in order to find where this terms list is going to be pretty straightforward. Under the menu bar, under list, okay? You go to the list menu, and it's going to be under, let's see. I believe it's under customers and vendors, terms list. There it is, okay? Because it can be applied to a customer or a vendor, right? So if I go ahead and click on terms list, what you're going to notice is that QuickBooks or this sample file has already created a couple terms that make sense. So often, these are the ones that you normally would see. Now, if it's a bill, right, normally if you don't give those incentives, right, you can just tell them, hey, you owe me this, I expect you to pay me in 30 days. And that's what the net 10 or net 15, net 30, and net 60 is. It means like, hey, you owe me money, you pay me back exactly, you have 30 days to pay me, okay? And that's how we understand it, right? When we're given terms or the way that it's written, it's given a percentage first, then it gives you a discount period, and then it tells you if you don't pay with that within those days, then your overall bill is due within this many days. So for example, right, let's take a look at the very first one. 1% 10 net 30. When we take these terms and we convert it into what this means, I will give you a 1% discount if you pay me in full within 10 days. If not, then the whole entire amount is due in 30. Okay? Not 30 days more, but in overall, in grand total, you have 30 days to pay. But if you pay me within the first 10 days, I'll grant you a discount. But if not, you have a total of 30 days to pay me back. All right, that is this right here. Now, of course, this is definitely different than financing, right? When you have someone who plays something on an account and you give them a credit line, right? And you tell them, yes, you want to sign with me with a financing contract, then that is going to be completely separate from this, okay? Because these are straightforward bills, meaning you owe me a lump sum money, you have this many days to pay me back. No questions asked, no financing. You can't make payments to me, all right? A payment plan is going to be something different. Therefore, you can't have terms in here. You can't give an incentive to your customer saying, hey, if you pay me in full, right? And those kind of financing terms are it depends on what company you use to finance them, right? And it depends on what their terms are or what their policy is. Now, obviously, the great thing about financing is that if they pay their bill off in full, they just don't get charged interest. Simple as that. Okay, but in this case, this is where when we're working with vendors, because vendors, they won't let us finance anything. You buy something from me, you owe me, you better pay me back. That's the bottom line there. So that's what this is for, okay? Now, in this case, we're going to practice how to create a new term, okay? Since the one that we have here doesn't exist, or if a vendor gives you a new one, or you decide to create one for your customers, it's pretty straightforward. Same thing, just like how we were looking at creating an account, you can right-click anywhere and create a new one. Or you can go down to the bottom of the window where it says terms. The drop-up menu is going to give you the option to click a new term, okay? Now, here they want us to say that we're going to give, I think it's 5% or 2%. Let's take a look. So for terms, it's 2% if they pay within 7 days. If not, the whole bill is due in 30. So in this case, they want us to type it into the very top. Now remember, this line right here where it says terms is what is going to be displayed on all of the either bills or the invoices or sales or invoices, okay? This is what's going to appear on it. So you definitely want to make it look pretty similar to the ones that you have, right? So in this case, since I don't remember what it looks like, I think it was 7, or what is it, 2%, comma, like normally, comma, they have 7 days to pay for it, or else it's going to be net 30, okay? So that's what you want to display on the bills or invoices, okay? Now, of course, it's going to be standard, all right? So now you're going to actually fill in what you're going to tell QuickBooks to do, because the great thing about when you do invoice these people, QuickBooks is smart enough to be able to tell you when the discount period is and when the actual bill is due. So it can set reminders for you to go tell your customers, hey, you still owe me money, don't forget about it. Or if they do end up missing the payment, they will you can set reminders on QuickBooks to let you know that you need to charge them a late fee charge, or you need to send them a new bill saying, hey, you missed this payment, all right? So that's the great thing about QuickBooks, is that when you're setting up these things, you're telling QuickBooks what to do, and it makes it that much easier for you to keep track of your customers as well as your vendors, right? So here, net due, okay, is going to be in 30 days, okay? Now the next question says discount percentage is going to be 2%, okay? And then the discount period will be it paid within 7 days. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and click save for, click OK for now. Okay? So now it pops up here. And notice this. Oh, it doesn't, not supposed to have commas. And net's not supposed to be all in caps. So what I can do here is I can right click it and edit my terms. And I can fix this part right here saying it's actually just 2% 7 capital N. I am trouble having to find my N today. Net 30. All right. And I'm going to click OK. So there it goes. Now it looks all nice, smooth, and conformed, right? Okay, so sorry. So here, now I've added more details to my terms list. So then when I do actually go ahead and take a look at a sales form, right? So if I go to my sales, or in this case, I'm creating an invoice, and let's say this is Bob Mason, okay, random customer. I'm just going to go ahead and just pick on Bob Mason. Okay, there you go, Bob Mason. Now, he has set right here on his invoice that his terms, where is his terms? He's a customer. Where are his terms? Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong sales form. Okay, let's try that. Let's do... imagine, let's just do this. Okay, I don't see the set terms. Okay, let's go.
Under payment settings, because I have Bob Mason open,
And
when I opened his up, I went to payment settings, and the terms are right there.
Okay, so that's, but when you're on an invoice, it should show, okay, I get it now, under payment, okay, got it. Or, for example, we could take a look at, okay, so under payments, okay, I see what you mean. Under receive payments, okay, if I were go back here.
Well, no, I went to customers,
And
then I went to the customer list, and I brought up Bob Mason, and it shows me like his current balance and everything, his address. And on the left side, when you go to payment settings, it has his account number with the payment terms.
Okay, so that's when you actually tack on a term for a particular person. Now, in this case, what I'm trying to show here is that, okay, let's just do a bill, for example. I'm going to add a supply. So notice this. Right here is what I was trying to talk about right here, is that you should be able to toggle this part right here where you're setting your terms for the individual person. So in this case, right, for this example here on this bill, my terms right here is 2% 10 net 30. With this one, I can drop down this menu and say, well, I have choices here. I could say that it could be due in 15 completely, or I could take my 2% 7 net 30. And what you're going to see here is that you have a discount due date. So this is what I meant by when you create and tell QuickBooks what to do, it's going to say, hey, your discount due date is going to be this date. And if not, then this entire bill is due on this date, right? Under the customers, it's supposed to display, I believe you're right, it is on the payment section, but you're supposed to be able to invoice them and let your customer know, hey, your bill is due this date, and you can toggle it too. But I think it's because of the setting of the form itself, it doesn't have that section where you can toggle it. So it might be something that has to be preset. Okay, so for this is what I was talking about, that you can change the terms at any given time. As long as you're on the form itself, whether it's a sales form, right, for your customers, or whether it's a bill itself. So just like here, this bill, because it is the standard bill, shows you that I can change the term at any given time. and it tells me what my discount due date is and when the actual bill is actually due. So once again, QuickBooks makes it that much easier and that much it's that much smarter to tell you. And the great thing about this is you can set reminders to remind you, hey, I want to take advantage of this bill because I'm getting a 2% discount. So in this case, if this bill racks up to be like about a couple $1,000, 2% is actually a lot. Okay, you could get a lot out of it if the discounts are, that much, if they offer you this discount. But once again, here it is, right? There it is. My terms is right there. Okay, I just wanted to show you how you can toggle the terms on a bill or an invoice. In this case, the invoice the invoice you have to. It's the template that doesn't show it. All right. So going back to my list for the terms list, because there's actually one section that you can actually is a new feature on here. Okay, so I'm going to go to list. I'm going to go to customers and vendors. List, customer and vendors. All right, and I'm going to go to my terms list. Okay. So in the book, it shows you that you can also have what's called date-driven due dates or terms, okay? Now, what this means is that instead of saying X amount of days that they have to owe me, I can actually say it date-driven is that I want this bill to be due exactly on July 7th. As in, I want to claim not 7 days, I want it on the 7th of the month. And that's if you are going to be using date-driven dates. So this is very common, especially when you have membership dues, right? You always say membership dues are always due on the 1st of the month. Then that's exactly why you can use date-driven terms to help you go ahead and send out those bills or invoices to have your customers pay on time. So you're saying, or for example, right, you can set those days. So if you want it on a specific date, then that's what date-driven does. But in this case, right, when we look at terms, if we're not using terms is based on after you release this billing or the invoice. They have X amount of days. The day that they receive the bill that's how the terms work. It's based on how many days they received upon receiving the bill. In this case, this one's date driven, meaning if you received it on the 15th of June, you are expected to pay on the 7th of July. It's very date specific. So in this case, let's take a look. In this case, my terms, once again, in this case, is I'm going to say it's actually going to be 2% on the 7th. And if not, it will be due on the 10th. Okay? All right. So then date driven is going to say when is it actually due from? Okay, before the 10th, date driven net is due on the 10th day. All right. Date that the next month is issued within let's see. What does the book say? I don't know what the book says. 30 days? 30 days after receiving the bill? I think so. It's still 2%.
10 days.
10.
Days.
It goes 10, 10? Okay.
10, 10, 1%, and 5.
I'm 5, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, 1%, and it's by the 5th day. All right, so I got to change this because it's now 1%. 1%. 1%.
The 5th.
5th date and due on the 10th, okay? So now if I put this on a bill, I'm telling, or QuickBooks is going to tell me, hey, this bill is due exactly on the 5th. If not, it is due on, you could get your discount if you pay within the 5th day. So you have so the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then if not, the whole bill is due on the 10th day, as in the 10th of the month. Okay, so this one, once again, these are date-driven terms. Okay, any questions there? Any questions? Okay. Next section we have here is going to be price levels. Now, what are price levels? Okay, so when we talk about making sales to specific people, right, you can categorize your customers into specific groups that you charge specific prices for, okay? Now, if you have a family friend, okay, that's a great example of how you can apply a price level, right? If you offer family friends discounts, or in this case, right, if a employee works for your company and you're either getting a service done for your friend or for your family, then you can apply this discount to them, all right? And that's what a price level is. It's going to be that you charge them at a specific price because they're taking an advantage of an offer that you have in your company. So you're going to be categorizing these separate people as a separate category because they belong into a category that you set to say, I'm going to charge special prices for these group of people, okay? It is not illegal. It's completely, you're able to do it, right? So especially when we look at, for another example, right? If we're talking about commercial versus residential, right? Obviously, commercial, meaning corporations, they're going to have the money to be able to pay off anything. So you could be setting your prices for commercial because maybe commercial jobs are a lot bigger. They're more labor intensive. They deal with a lot of extra stuff that you need. They have contracts that you have to sign for liabilities and stuff. You can charge them as the highest price if you'd like for your service. And that's going to be grouped for commercial. Now, if you're going to be selling a product to a residential, right, someone who's just a regular average person that that you are selling a service to, you can't expect them to pay the price level of a commercial because they don't have the money to be able to afford something like that, right? The job that they're going to be requiring isn't going to be as massive. It's not going to be upscale, and maybe there isn't need for a liability waiver. All right, so you have to consider into that when you're selling a product or service, you also have to consider what kind of groups of people you are targeting for. Okay, so a lot of demographics, a lot of research has to go into it, especially if your product and services can apply to all types of customers. Okay, so in this case, right, I believe we are going to be going to create a new price level for a specific group that you just, that they're a, a frequent customer. They're a regular. They come to you often, and that's what you're going to do, okay? So let's go ahead and find those price level list, okay? So here on QuickBooks, once again, you're gonna go to list, and right here I guess it's in the middle, you have price level list. Okay. Now, here's something that you need to know. In order for you to be able to modify or apply these price levels, okay, you can use Pro to do this. It's just fine. However, as you progress and you make specified group settings, you do need to have Premiere to be able to fully execute the functionality of this. So in this case, in Pro, you can categorize your people, but you can't charge them yet. You would have to manually enter those price points there. Where QuickBooks Pro, if you set it, you can modify it, and it will apply it to their invoices when you bill them. So that's just a little quick note there. But let's take a look here. So we actually have a few group settings. We have 1 for commercial, 2 for nonprofit organizations, and 3 for frequent customers. Okay. So here we already have frequent customers. Okay. So let's take a look at what the book wants us to create. Okay, so here we are, price levels. So we're actually going to change. Okay, so let's take a look at where these price levels can be. So when you are, especially when you're applying it to an invoice, right, there's 2 ways that you can apply it. 1, by manually entering in those discounted prices or on the sales form, or 2, you can set it as a part of the preferences under the customer, and QuickBooks should be able to automatically recognize that this person belongs to this kind of group, that they're going to automatically adjust the price points for you. Okay. Now, of course, once again, that's just based on if you tell QuickBooks to do that. Okay. So let's see what else here. So we're going to be setting up a customer. We're going to be setting up a new price level, and it's going to be called a new price level. Okay. So actually, let's take a look at my frequent customers. Let's see what they get. Okay. When you pull this information up, right, it allows you to say, well, my frequent customers, for all the things that they get here, I get to set a price point because they get discounted amounts, right? So, for example, and my frequent customers that come to my store, okay, for a photographer, right, they get the discounted price of 75. I'm sorry. They get there is no price point here. Okay. But in this case, they get $10 off. All right. So the first one for an outdoor photo session, right? Our normal price point for any regular customer or a commercial customer is that we charge $95. But here, if I selected that this person is a frequent customer, I'm going to give them a discount saying, hey, we're going to charge them $85. Okay, and we'll talk about customizing the customer profiles in chapter 2, which is going to be next week on Tuesday. So you guys can see what happens when we make these price levels, that we're able to adjust our prices, what we charge regular people and what we want to charge these specific group of people at discounted prices. Okay, so it could be anywhere from a specific percentage or it could be an actual rate. So that's what this diagram shows you here, is that this is an actual, it's not a percentage. This one is per item discount. So in this case, I'm not saying that they get to receive a 10% discount. This one is they're receiving $10 off. So that's the difference when you actually are setting up your price levels here, is that you can choose, are you going to give them a specific percentage, or are you going to give them an actual per item listing? Okay, so as I mentioned before, this is a per item listing because I originally charged my regular customers $95, But this person, whoever is a frequent customer, they're going to get charged at a discounted one for $85. So there is no, it's not based on a percentage. This is an actual per item listing. So as you can see, I'm only going to be offering my frequent customers, I'm only offering them discounts on these two items here, indoor and outdoor photo sessions. Okay, now if I want to, I could offer an additional for anything that else is on here. So if they purchase a picture frame, instead of charging them, I could say it's free, it's complimentary. Okay. So because my frequent customers come in and they pay for the services, I'm going to say it's complimentary on us, that because you're such a loyal customer to us, we're going to throw in all this extra stuff in for free. And how would you do that? You would just enter it in here saying, oh, I normally charge my customers $5, but in this case, I'm going to charge them nothing because it comes free. It's complimentary. Okay? And I can also save that and click OK. So that's how you set your price levels. Once again, it's identical to, setting up your chart of accounts, right? You just right click here and click new, or you can go down to the bottom under price levels, drop up menu and click new. So again, you can have specific people that can be part of a specific type of group, demographics, whatever it is. And you can target them and sell your product to them and offer them different prices to a specific group of people. And that is what price levels are. Okay? So in here, the book doesn't actually give you an example for you to actually enter in, but I do want to show you so I can explain exactly how price level listings work. Okay? Any questions? Okay. All right. Next section we have here is going to be custom fields, okay? And we're going to take a look at this on Monday and on Tuesday because Monday we're going to be diving into looking at our expenses, which is going to be creating our vendors. Tuesday we're going to be taking a look at how we're going to create our customer profiles, okay? Now, each one, okay, is going to have some kind of set information that, is pretty standard for keeping track of any business details, okay? So what I mean by that is, let's take a look at an example, right? If I decide that I have a new customer, pretty straightforward information that you would get from a customer is going to be their name, obviously, their contact information, their address, because if they're going to ship things to you, you want to make sure that you're able to have the correct addresses to ship the items out to. You have other things too, such as credit card information. Okay, those are all going to be considered standard information that you can receive or retrieve from a specific person. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and pick on Mr. Bob Mason. I'm going to double click on his profile because that will take you to his profile. So as I've mentioned before, these things are all standard to collecting information from a customer, right? You would get their name, their address, and information like that, right? All of these are all standard. You can even determine how they pay you. How do they want to receive bills from you or invoices, right? How do they want to be taxed? Okay, and we'll talk all about this on Tuesday for customers, okay? However, there is a small section for additional information, okay? Where here you can see on the left side gives you like additional information such as what type of business or what type of person they are, or what kind of type of price levels you want to charge them, and that's what this is right here. You can also take a look at, sales representatives if you have any. Okay? But on the right side, here's where you have custom fields. Now, what does custom fields do for adding extra information for a customer? Pretty straightforward, right? The great thing and the best thing about having extra information about a customer is you can use it to your advantage, especially when you're trying to get them to buy a product from you, okay? As sad as it sounds, that's exactly why there's custom fields, because the more information they gather about you, they're just going to tailor to your what you like to do, your interest, so they can try to, get you to buy their product. Okay? So, information such as what kind of sports do they do? Okay? Oh, you like sports? Would you like to do a photo shoot about you and your athletic career? Okay? It's also another means to help strengthen your relationship between you and your customer, because the great thing about customers is that if you know so much information about them, they feel that that they're recognized, that they have attention, okay? That you're paying attention to them, and that's where, as a company, that's what you want. You want them to feel loved, because if you give them attention, they'll want to buy your product. Okay? So again, conversation starters, right? Especially, hey, Bob, how is your mother doing? Is she doing great? Would you like another family photo? And that's exactly what. How was the last family photo? Would you like another one for grandma's birthday or mom's birthday? Etc., etc. They use this information that they can gather off of you to sell a product to you. Okay? And that's what custom fields does, is it allows you to enter extra information that you pick up from a customer, because again, this is one, a conversational starter, two, it strengthens the relationship between the customer and the company, and three, it is a marketing strategy, okay? It is the gateway to get you to sell a product. So if I decide to go into my defined fields, right, you're going to get this little window here. And you have up to 15 total custom fields that you can create, okay? Now, here's the catch. Every person, whether they're a customer, vendor, or an employee, you gather this information from them, they can only hold up to 7 per person. So in this case, if I have a customer, they can have up to 7 custom fields. If you have a vendor, they can have up to 7 custom fields. If they are an employee, which is the most important thing, because you want to make sure that your employees are comfortable to work for you, they can only hold up to 7 custom fields. But wait. Hold up. That math doesn't work out. How does 7 plus 7 plus 7 equal to 15? It doesn't. So in this case, that's 21. No. Each one can only hold up to 7. And each custom field can be applicable for multiple people. So that's why you only have up to 15 custom fields, and out of those 15, you can only apply 7 of those fields per person. Now in this case, for customers, for vendors, and for employees, right? A great one is your spouse's name. Wouldn't you want that to know about that, especially from your customers and especially for your employees? You definitely want to know that your employee is married or has a significant other. Other things that you can have is if they're interested in sports, hobbies. For a business or for a vendor, an establishment date is also good, because they can invite you to those events saying, hey, come to my grand opening, right? Right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Conversational starters. You come into my grand opening, I want you to come and take pictures. Okay? So once again, you want to be very, 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 very precise on which custom field you want to have to create, and you want to kind of create it that can be used in multiple locations. You don't want to create 7 of them for only strictly vendors, then you're only left with 5 to fix for the rest. Okay? So in this case, that's what custom fields do, is that if I want to add something else, so I just added spouse's name, so this is my customer, so I'm going to see if they have any pets, okay, and I'm going to say that should work for customer and for my employees. Hobbies, once again, hobbies is a great way to attract your customers and your employees, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then it's going to give you this message, and you're going to click OK. So then once you've done that, your window should refresh, and now it gives you options to fill in these extra things here. So once again, I said that for a customer, you have do they have pets? Maybe Bob has a cat. Okay? And this one, you can add as much details as you'd like. So I could say cat named George. I don't know. Something interesting like that. Okay? Do they have hobbies? What do they like? Maybe he likes to play golf. Okay? Hey, would you like to take a picture with you in your golf tournament cup? I don't know. Okay? Etc., etc. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and click OK. So once again, custom fields, you can, for this one, this example here is primarily used for people, but yes, you can also use it for items, which if you guys remember in chapter 12, they specified that you can have customizable items, right? Under the chart of accounts, you can create subtypes. Those are customizable, but you can only do up to 5 for items. For people, it's 7. In grand total, for the people, it's 15. Okay. Any questions there?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's see here in the book. What else can we see? All right, I believe the last section that we actually have to this is going to be customizing sales forms and reports. Okay, so we have about 6 minutes left on the timer here. I think I'm going to stop here real quick, and let's just jump into the other meeting. Alright, so coming back here, we are now finally going to be looking at the last section here in chapter 7, which is going to be modifying sales forms or sales templates. So the great thing about QuickBooks is it allows you to customize your sales forms the way that you can to kind of tailor to your customers and also make you set apart from any other business. You can customize it to the point where you can customize it with the colors that represent your company. You can customize it by adding a logo, your company logo. So that's the cool thing about QuickBooks is it allows you to create these templates for you to be able to print these sales forms and send them out to your customers, okay? So once again, let's take a look at how I'm able to access that, right? So we're going to go ahead and take a look once again under the list menu, okay? So this list menu, we're going to be looking at it a couple times. But if I go ahead and go look through it, I have templates, okay? If I click on that, it's going to show me that these are what comes with QuickBooks. All right, you have a couple Intuit standard templates that are created. Okay, so in case you are starting your company out, you haven't really established anything yet, maybe this is the beginning, you're a startup company, you're trying to find your colors, your logos, and whatnot. That's why Intuit creates these standard templates for you. So when you do send these sales forms or invoices, statements, it's already standard so that you don't forget a specific thing. You're not forgetting something in a form, especially when you're trying to bill or invoice your customers. You definitely don't want to forget things like what are the items that you sold to them, what's their due date, what's their balances, okay? So here, these are preset standard ones for those type of things. So they have like, there's apparently an attorney invoice. So in case for any reason for corporations, this is very important for legal reasonings. They have Intuit product invoice. They have Intuit professional invoices. So they have pretty much anything that's geared towards any type of business. So they have preset ones already. Yes, you can create your own invoice, but you just have to be very careful with that because you can accidentally forget something on your invoice, and when you print it out and ship it to your customer, they open it up and they could be like, "Oh my God, you didn't even tell me how much I owe you." Okay, so the best rule of thumb here is they recommend you to, if you are going to be creating your own customizable type of invoice or whatever it is, sales form, they recommend you, why don't you just take one of the ones that's already existing and just go from there, because this one gives you every detail that you need without forgetting anything. So let's go ahead and take a look at, I believe we're going to take a look at Intuit service invoices, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and make a duplicate copy of this. So in case I mess up for any reason, I have a backup copy. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to go ahead and right click it, and I'm going to, where is it? Create form, create template, download, make template inactive. Oh, where?
It said that it's down in the drop down for templates to duplicate.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so here. Okay, there you go. Duplicate. There you go. At the top. I was looking at the bottom. All right, so now if you're making a copy of the actual thing. So in this case, right, this is an invoice. So I am actually going to make a copy of it, and it's going to be an invoice. And I'm going to click OK. All right, so now here at the top gives you the copy of Intuit service invoice. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and right click this and edit this template. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you print it out. So the great thing about having this window is it's going to show you what it looks like at all times. So right here, pretty standard, pretty boring, but this gets the job done, right? If you've ever seen many companies that use QuickBooks, this is the go-to one because it has all the details on there. It's straightforward. It's easy to produce, black and white, standard, safe for everybody, okay? But here what you can do to this is that you can modify in a way that makes it stand out from any other company out there. So right here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name of this template, okay? I'm going to make this, I believe they say my invoice. I mean, come on. We'll name it what it's supposed to be, which is Imagine Photography service invoice, okay? Oh, I guess it doesn't fit, okay? So, okay, that's good enough. Okay, that's what I want to name this, and this is what it's going to be saved under my list of invoices, sales forms, and so on and so forth. This is what I'm going to name it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click OK. So there you go. Now I'm back at the window. So I want to continue customizing it. So what I notice here is that if I go move my stuff over, I've created the Imagine Photography service invoice. Okay, I've already created that for you for this. I renamed it and now it appears there. So now how can I further customize it? Well, let's take a look at the options here. You can customize it by adding a logo. Okay, so for this class, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to say I want a logo on here. So in your student download files, your student portable files, you actually have a copy of a signature and a logo. So I'm going to go ahead and locate where my portable files are, and it should say logo. Okay, I don't have it on mine. Custom files. Yeah, I'm supposed to have a logo in here. Okay, guess they didn't provide one. They were supposed to provide one. It's supposed to have a nice image for the logo. But again, you can use any logo if you want to. It's supposed to have one. So, and okay. Well, you can have it or not, but it's optional. In this case, they didn't provide it. They're supposed to provide it. Other things that you can do too here is you can select color schemes, right? So in this case, I'm going to say Imagine Photography. My colors are black, white, and maroon. So if I go ahead and click maroon, what you're going to notice is that if you look carefully, if you look very, very carefully, if you notice, it's actually shaded all in maroon. It's hard to see on anybody's end, but it's shaded in maroon. Okay. Other things that you want to change fonts for. So you can change the title of this, right? You could change the company name. So in this case, I want to change my company name because in this case, you can't even tell what it says at the top of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click change fonts. So if your company decides to have a specific font for its, for the company name and stuff, go ahead and select that, right? So in this case, maybe I'll choose this one, right? And I'm going to keep it maroon, and I'm going to make the size 16. So, or actually, let's make it 18. And I'm going to click OK. And what you're going to notice is, boom, it automatically will appear like that. And that's my company right there, Imagine Photography. All right. I can change the title, which is, in this case, the title is my invoice, right? I can change that too. In this case, I don't want it maroon. I, in fact, want it to be in black so people know what this is. And I'm going to change the size so then people can tell what this is. So right now, it's size 21. I'm going to make it size 36. And I'm going to say OK. So there you go. I made it. Oh, I didn't change it to black. I see. I was supposed to change it to black, but it won't do it. Okay. So there you go. Other things that you can have contributing factors are right here. So if you want it to say my company name, it's already there. Do I want my company address? Yes, you should. Do I want a fax number? That's optional. Okay. Do I want my website? Yes, I want my website. Yes, I want my email address on there. Okay. Oh no, I think that's fine. So yes, you can change and move them around if you'd like, but in this case, I'm just gonna accept what they do. So I want an email address. Okay. Yes, I want my phone number. They should be able to contact me. So notice every time I keep adding something in here, it's creating it down here at the bottom. Now that window that just popped up to me, that's just telling me, hey, you can rearrange it how you want it to look on your form by using the mover thing, right? So in this case, I like it down here. It's fine. It's good enough. And other things right there is I want to be able to put past due stuff on there. Yes. Okay. So once again, as you can see, I'm customizing and building my invoice the way that I want to do it. And yes, you can arrange and be able to create it, and you can also add any customization, so additional things. So maybe you want another column somewhere, maybe you want a section somewhere. So once again, you can build your template from scratch if you like, but this makes it easier because you won't forget something, because this is a standard one and you're just modifying it from here. Okay. For example, maybe I don't like the maroon idea. Maybe I want it to be standard black and white, whatever represents my company better. Okay. And once again, I can go ahead and click OK. So then the next time I create my sales form, or I, print out a sales form for somebody, it's going to look exactly like that. It's going to be, or they gave you a preview of it already. And that's what it should look like. It should look like this, maroon. All my changes have been saved. And that's exactly what my sales form would look like. Okay. Any questions there?
No.
Okay. So that's the great thing about QuickBooks, is that it gives you the capabilities to be able to create personalized or customizable invoices, sales receipts. You can create it for estimates, sales orders, okay? So payments, even if you want payment receipts, and things like that. Now, here's the one thing that you have to know in this section here, is that you absolutely cannot customize a check. All right? Because that is one of the things that too is like some people want to add their logo on their check. Yes, the bank has to do it themselves, because the one thing about, if you were to create your own customizable checkbook, right, you have the high possibilities of forgetting a piece of information that allows a check to become valid, right? Plus, other things that you need to have too is you do need to have that treasury logo on there, which you cannot print out, right? That's something you have to obtain from the actual bank or the treasury itself. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to know, is that checks are the one thing that you cannot modify. Okay, checkbooks, check statements, anything that has to do with check, you cannot customize. And you cannot customize bills, obviously, because bills come from another company. You only are able to receive them. I don't know why you would need to create a bill, like another duplicate of a bill, because you're receiving it from another company. Okay? So this is all dealing with sales and sales process itself, right? Sending invoices that is customizable to your company. Right? And that's the last thing that we have here. Any questions in regards to Chapter 7, Customizing QuickBooks?
No.
All right.
No.
All right, so let's go ahead, save and close, and let's go ahead and dive right into the review questions for Chapter 7, okay? All right, multiple choice. Once again, multiple choice is you're going to be selecting the best answers, okay, for each of the following, okay? Number 1, you can create custom fields for D. That's correct. Both A and C, right? You can create them for your customers. You can create them for your vendors, but you can't create it for templates. Okay. Number 2, okay? The two types of preferences are
User and company preference.
correct. A. Great. Good. Number 3, okay? If you don't see the favorites in your menu, okay, you can turn it on by
Customize itemized bar window.
okay. We're talking about the favorites menu.
Oh, okay.
Good. So the question is, if you don't see your favorites menu appear on your menu bar, how do you make it appear? In this case, the view menu is correct because I'll go ahead and show you real quick. So once again, if my favorites menu is not supposed to be there, so once again, I go to view and I click on favorites menu, there you go, it disappears. So the question was asking, if you don't see it appear, how do you make it appear? You go view, favorites menu. Okay? All right, next question, number 4, okay? Which of the following is not an available template type in QuickBooks? Yes, right? It's not an available one. You can't customize checks, all right? And that's correct, right? There is such thing as credit memos, statements, and sales receipts, okay? Number 5, which of the following can be displayed vertically on the far left side, okay, on
Icon bar.
the icon bar, yes, right? Good, the icon bar. Number 6, okay? You cannot customize which of the following? D, the open windows list. Let's see. This is question number 6. Yes, that's true. You can't customize that because it's just basically a list of all your windows, right? The layout of the statements, yes, you can by customizing the stuff. Yes, you can customize the icon bar, and yes, you can customize the layout of estimates, right? This is part of customizing your templates, right? You can move it around. Okay? Number 7, okay? To add an icon to the icon bar, you can use what? D, either A or B. Okay, let's see. You could use the add window name to the icon bar. So yes, we took a look at that today, right? B says that to customize the icon bar window. Yes, we took a look at that too, right? You right click on the icon bar, you can customize it there. Okay? You cannot customize it using the user preferences. That's only for home page and etc. Okay? Number 8, okay? Use which of the following to manually design the layout of an invoice?
D.
D. Let's see, number 8. Anybody else? D, correct. To use the layout designer. Yes. I didn't show you this because I kept closing that window, but yes, you're able to create your invoice from scratch. I didn't show you that because the book doesn't show you that, but yes, you can actually build it from scratch and move your boxes wherever you'd like. Okay? Number 9, the two types of price levels are all right, we got a lot of different answers here. Okay. So again, for here, per item and percentage is correct. Okay. So A is correct because in this case, right, when you create your price level, you have the option to either charge your people, right, a specific price either by item, or you can give them an actual percentage rate. In this case, it's not by customer, okay? Because that would be a lot of work. You have to go through every single customer to give them a specific price point. That is too much work. So per customer is not going to be one of the options there, okay? But you can use price levels when you see a specific person, which we'll talk about in chapter 2, that you can set them up to get the price points that they need. Okay. Number 10, okay? You would like to offer a discount when some customers pay their invoices. Okay? What list should you open to start creating this discount?
Term.
A, terms list. Yes, right? When you want to offer terms, or in this case, discounts. Number 11, okay? The simplest way to offer a regular discount to a customer is to. So this might be a trick question because this is definitely something that you would learn in chapter 2 or 3. But go ahead and give a guess.
D, no, the
Which question again?
you set the default price.
11.
D.
Okay, to set the default price level for that customer. Yes. Okay, that is correct. In this case, if you're just going to be offering a regular person a discount, right, for a specific person, you would just set the default for whatever price level that they're supposed to get. Now, that's just talking about giving discounts to specific customers. Now, what if you're doing a discount for everybody? Then that's going to be something we're going to learn in chapter 2 and 3, okay? Number 12, okay? Where do you control the default settings for your homepage?
Wait, let us go. What was number 11?
Number 11 was D.
Okay, about so thank you.
Okay. Number 12, B as in boy. Where do you control the default settings for your homepage? B, preferences desktop view. Okay. Number 12 is B. Yes. So where do you control that's a weird question. Where do you control the default settings for your homepage? So as I mentioned before, right? Your preferences is going to determine how you create or you modify your homepage, right? That has nothing to do with the view menu. That has nothing to do with the company desktop view. And it doesn't have to do with anything with the icon bar. The icon bar, that one makes no sense. But the way that they give you the answers, it can be confusing because it is a preference and it could be a company. But I think these are the the options. Like you're going to the company, the company menu bar, and you're choosing desktop view. No, you're not using the icon bar, and you're definitely not using the view menu. Okay, it's a preference. Okay, number 13. Okay, you can rearrange the order of columns in the templates using the what? Which letter? B as in boy for number 13. No, it is not.
It's C.
C, additional customizing window. So that's the window I was talking to you about being able to rearrange and modify your template the way that you want it to look like. It's not the template list. That's where you can locate where the templates are. But to rearrange is going to be letter C, the additional customization window. So once again, I didn't explore that, but I believe your book does show you a little example in there. I don't think so, because it only talked about it, but it didn't tell you what you can use it for. Okay? Number 14, to switch between multiple open windows, use the D. Enter, okay, sorry, either A or C. Okay, so either Windows menu or C, open windows on the icon bar. Good. Okay. Last but not least, we have number 15. All right. The icons on the home page. What do they do?
I know B. But
It's D, but there are always show or hide interest.
Okay. Always show.
D.
And C, don't show it.
Okay, so yes, in this context, yes, it is A and C. All right, because it always displays. We already know that one is for surely true. Okay, can be hidden. No, you cannot hide anything on your homepage. There's no button for you to hide it. There's no way that you can hide anything on the icon bar. So we already know B is eliminated. C, don't show the features is inactive. Of course not. For example, if you guys remember when we customized the home page and I said that if I want to turn off my inventory, does it tell me that it's inactive? No, it doesn't. It just shows whatever icon is available. So D is the correct answer. Okay.
D?
D. D as in dog. It doesn't show you if features are inactive.
But the D say it both B and C.
You said the answers were A and C, but D says B and C.
Oh wait, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, sorry. Let me take a look at this.
Now,
Okay, the icons on the home page always show. I mean, that is true, is it not? Can't be hidden. Can be hidden. Don't show. Okay, wow. This is a really bad question because it tells you that the icons on the home page, right? In context, usually when you read this statement, you think you're looking for what is true. In this case, this question is asking what is not true. Okay? For example, can be hidden. No, it cannot be hidden. Right? 2, it doesn't show the features on the whether they're inactive or not. So it says, I don't know. It says right here on my page here, it says that letter 15 is the answer is D. So in this case, I would, if this statement was to be true, it'd be A. But if it's to answer it that is not true, it'd be D, B, and C because you can't hide it, and it definitely doesn't show you features that are inactive. Okay, so that is a flag for this question here.
The answer is D as in David.
D as in David. All right. Complete the statement. Okay. Use the blank user preferences to set default windows that show when you open up QuickBooks and to change the color and graphic of QuickBooks, okay? Oh, okay. I don't know how else to, okay. That's the question here. How do we complete this one? Use the blank user preferences.
the view user.
The view. What kind? Desktop view.
Yes, that
Yes. So that's a little feature that I showed you today, right? You use the desktop view in order for you to be able to change, to change the preferences of the windows, to change the color scheme. Okay, good. Number 2, the blank blank, okay, displays, displays common commands along with along with an icon that representing that command along, dang, they put too much along the side of the edge of the top or the left side of QuickBooks windows. The icon bar, yes. Okay. Number 3, use the blank menu to collect your most used commands. Favorites, yes. You could either use it for the most used, you can use it to just get to a transaction easier. What else can you use it for? Pretty much, if you don't want to dig through stuff, you could use the favorites menu. All right. Number 4, okay. Ooh. Blank terms calculate based on the date of the month and the day that the bill is due, or it can be discounted when the discount is earned. Excuse me, let me read that again. Blank terms, okay, calculate based on the day of the month, okay, that an invoice or bill is due, or a discount is earned. What do you call that? Date driven. Yeah, so blank blank terms. 5.
What was the answer?
Date driven. So this case, remember, terms gives you, it counts off the days that you have to either earn a discount or to let you know that it is due. A date driven terms is when it's an exact date of the month that a bill is due or when a discount is going to be earned. Number 5. Okay. To implement different pricings for different customer types, use blank. Price levels is correct. Okay. All right. Any questions in regards to chapter 7?
No.
All right. Okay. Well,